So, hey you guys, it's Prophetess Maya. So, Maya Gambari is my name, and my ministry that the Lord blessed me with is called Renewed Faith Ministries. So, most of you guys, some of you know my testimony, but not all of you guys. So, about me, you guys, I grew up in a home. My mom was married to my dad. My dad is Nigerian. Um, I was sick most of my childhood, from maybe like the sixth grade. Like I could not keep anything down, no food down. The doctors didn't know what it was. They diagnosed me with depression and anxiety. They took my dad. He got deported and went back to his country. Um, and that I was devastated because I was a daddy's girl. So I was very devastated, you guys. That just broke my heart as a kid. And I always got talked about as a child, bullied at elementary school. People always used to call me ugly. They talked about my weight. They talked about me crazy about the way I walked. Even my friends, they used to joke around and talk about the way I'm walking or talk about my last name. My name is Maya Gambari. So, after that, growing up, I felt unloved. I felt that nobody loved me. I wanted to be loved. So I was a people pleaser. I wanted everybody to love me for me. So anything they needed, I had them. Anything they needed, I had it to help, to give. Um, People see my kindness and use it for weakness. So let's fast forward. I lost my mom in 2015, and the Lord blessed me with my daughter and my child father. It was a lot, y'all. After I lost my mom, I literally lost my mind. Well, I thought I lost my mind, but the Lord still had me. The Lord still had me. So here I am. I'm bullied as a kid. Nobody understands me. I'm a black sheep from my family. My family don't even accept me. They never did. They wouldn't invite me anywhere. Like I'm like, why y'all ain't inviting me? Why y'all inviting him? Like I just always feel different from my family. I always feel different from my friends. I always felt out like an outcast. All right. I always knew who God was as a child, but not really, really know him, like have an intimate relationship with him. And so my mom used to make us go to church and stuff. I would fall asleep in church. Um, my first encounter with the Lord was when I was sick in the hospital as a child. I just remember myself passing out and I seen Jesus, and Jesus was like, "It's not your time to go yet." And I woke up. Like they had shockers on me and everything. Like I woke up. The Lord was like, "It's not your time." And my mama always said I was called. She always said, "You call, you call, you call, you call." And I'm like, "What do you say I'm called? What am I called? What does that mean?" And my mama sheltered us, me and my brother, from so much, like so much stuff we didn't know about. We didn't know about witchcraft. We didn't know about none of this stuff. We didn't know about strongholds. We didn't know about nothing. So um, growing up, so after I lost my mama, I started losing everybody. Like my friends, they wasn't checking on me. They weren't worried about me. Um, they was just worried about what I could do for them. Cause also as after my mom passed, I I was blessed with some money. Okay, so you know, money changes people for sure, and I never had money like that. We grew up. We didn't have everything that we wanted. We had everything we needed. We didn't have no car. My mama did the best with what she could. So we knew nothing how to manage money. We didn't know, and I thought everybody was nice. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking everybody loving me, but they was just wanting what I had, right? And so once my mom passed, I, I, I couldn't even grieve. I was pregnant. I found out I was pregnant at her funeral. I couldn't even grieve my mama. I went right into being pregnant. And I wasn't about to lose my child, you know. So, and here I am having a kid with somebody who don't even love me. And my child father, he lied about his age. Found out, I found out years later when he went to jail that he was young. Okay, when I say young, he was young. He had a whole fake ID, like just it. My God. And so I literally could have went to jail, right? But God had grace over me, because I did not know. Because if I knew, Lord knows I wouldn't have did it, right? And so I started losing friends that I never thought I would have lost. Um, God was removing people, just removing people, you know. And that let me see everybody true colors. Is like, you're not here for me, you're here for what I can give. Because when I got to my lowest after losing all that money, nobody was around, you know what I'm saying? But when I had that money, everybody was around. And I always saying to the Lord, Lord, I don't want this money. I wish I didn't have this money, because everybody around me, because I got money. And they know that I'm going to help them. You know what I'm saying? But after that, I had my child. Um, I got robbed at gunpoint by somebody that I knew with my daughter. God opened my eyes up, y'all, because I was heading the wrong direction. After I lost my mom, I kept putting myself in danger. I kept putting my daughter in danger because I didn't want to be there no more. Like, I'm like, Lord, take me, you know, being selfish and not worried about my daughter. You know, I'm like, take me. My family will watch her. My family will get her. You know, I was hitting a lot. Like, you talking about depression, anxiety, and postpartum depression. Oh, yeah, I was going through it. Um, after that, that woke me up. I started going back to the Lord. Um, I started following Jesus, and just following Him, learning who He is, and the Lord let me get my own place. And it was a lot of stuff that happened before I had got my place, but someone that my dad knew, she put witchcraft on me. I didn't know nothing about this woman, but I know my dad knew her. I'm like, let me go stay with her. So I stayed with her after we had got robbed. I lost everything and I went to stay with her. And I'm eating this woman's food. I'm telling you, I'm doing so much stuff for this woman. I didn't know she did witchcraft on me until like maybe years later. A prophet told me, but and I already knew something, but I didn't know exactly what. And so after I left her, she passed away, y'all. After I left her, she passed. Right after I left, it was sad. I'm like, what? You know, I wasn't understanding that, how she just passed when we left. So I'm like, okay, she must have did something. She did something to me. And so after that, I get my own place. I get my own place. So I'm in this place, y'all. I found out my child father, he gets 75 years with no parole. So God took him from me also, that was protection for me. The Lord removed him, you know. He got 75 on parole. I ain't got no choice but to not talk to him no more. You know what I'm saying? And when I got to this apartment, I was in this apartment for 5 years before now. I was that was the place I was in before now. I was in that place for 5 years. I was still stuck. I started back talking to my child father. I was holding him down for like 2 years. And God was like, you need to let him go. That's not somebody you're going to be with. And this was before I knew I was a prophet. I had a dream about him and how me and him was going to be married. And I was okay with him having all these wives and stuff. Like, it was a lot. But I had to let him go. And in these 5 years of being in that place, I lost friends that I never thought I would have lost. And I lost family. I didn't lose family. Like, their colors started showing, basically. Because I was praying to God, asking him, like, whoever not for me, remove them out of my life, Lord. Whoever talking, whoever plotting, whoever doing stuff on me, show me them. Show me the people, Lord. And the Lord started showing me. He started showing me who the people are. He started showing me who the people was, After, like, some time, I kept getting sick, y'all. I just kept getting sick during these 5 years. It was an instance where I just kept getting sick for like 8 times. Like, it took me 8 times for me to surrender to the Lord. I just kept getting sick, going to the hospital, getting hives on me. My heart, the devil was attacking my heart. And I didn't know that I was doing witchcraft, y'all, because when my mom passed, I started dibbling, dabbling, and reading, getting readings from people. I started connecting to angel numbers because I thought that was the Lord speaking to me through them. And I would look all of them up, not knowing that I was opening portals. And I was talking to the dead and stuff. Like, anytime somebody would come to me, I would tell them, hey, this is what somebody said, like that. And I did sage, I had crystals. I didn't know what none of this stuff meant, but I was just doing it because I was learning about it. And I was wanting to know what happened to my mom. All because I was wanting to know. And I didn't have my relationship with the Lord. I wanted to know what happened to my mom. And so a prophet comes to me during this time and tells me about it being 3 witches in my family, about my mom, that they're not gonna take me out like they did my mom. And they gave me all the answers that I needed. I never took that back to the Lord, right? But I did ask the Lord to help me understand. So I did take it back to the Lord because I said, Lord, help me understand this. What he meant by that. What did this prophet mean by this? I was questioning God then after man told me that, I'm like, Lord, show me. Reveal the secrets within my family. I always say, Lord, reveal the secrets within my family. And the Lord revealed it when I was ready to receive it. And it hurt it. It hurt it, but it is what it was what it was. It is what it is, And of course I cried about it, let it go. I started distancing myself from these people. But I kept getting sick, not understanding that these people was plotting on me, that they doing witchcraft on me. Friends too. Friends too. Friends too. They were doing it on me. Family was doing that on me. So yeah, the enemy was trying to take me out. But God, nobody but God, right? So after that, After that, I finally surrendered to the Lord. I lost my job. After I said yes to the Lord, I lost my job. I lost my car that I had just got. I lost the friends. Me and my family stopped talking. My health was still healthy, right? Um, I had high blood pressure. I ain't never had high blood pressure. They had me on high blood pressure meds. My legs was having hives on them. My daughter, just everything going wrong after I said yes to the Lord. But I didn't care about that because when I told the Lord, I said yes. I want to do your will. I want to help your people. I want to figure out who I am so I can be able to help your people. I didn't care about nothing else that was going to come with that. And so here we go. After that, the Lord tells me that I need to step out on faith. I'm like, okay, Jesus, we'll step out on faith. Lead the way. Show us where to go. Show us what to do. And the Lord showed us, me and my daughter, my brother, he showed us where to go. So we've been sleeping in an apartment until the eviction. They said we got evicted. And so we were sitting, staying in this place for maybe a whole month before the people came and knocked on the door. There was nobody but the Lord. We were supposed to be evicted and we were still in this place. And then soon when it was time to go, soon as it was time to go, the Lord blessed me with some money so we can go to Houston. I was getting paid by Facebook at this time. I was getting paid with Facebook, and then the money came on a day that it never comes. So we used that money and we got a rental, and we went to Houston. We went to Houston. We were homeless for 6 months. We didn't want for nothing. We were always praying for people, doing the Lord's will, doing what He wanted us to do. But we never once wanted for anything. When we needed food, the Lord supplied. When we needed clothes, the Lord supplied. When we needed showers, the Lord let us take showers when we needed to. The Lord gave us hotels. He gave us food. He gave us everything we needed because we were being obedient. And we were still praying, still fasting, still praising the Lord through it all. We wasn't giving up. We wanted to give up, but we still kept going. We slept outside maybe 4 times. After that, this a man, he tells us about a ministry. He helps us get away from Houston because at this time we trying to look for shelters and we can't find no shelter. And so this man, he comes in, he don't know us. He says, hey, I know about this ministry. I'll help y'all get to this ministry. Don't even know us. Don't know us. Nobody but the Lord, right? So he pays our way. He gets the Greyhound for us. We go to New Orleans, Louisiana, and we go to a ministry. And then after this ministry, me and my brother get separated. And then I go to another ministry, and my brother stays with that ministry. And then he go back and forth being homeless and still staying there. But me and my daughter, we go to a ministry. It's a drug rehab, but it's a ministry for the Lord, right? It's for the Lord. They say it's for the Lord. They say Jesus and Lord, but they cuss in the same sentence. They curse, and they smoke, and they whoop kids, and they exhaust you. You'll be working from 5 a.m. all the way to 8 p.m. and your children will be working for their ministry. You will not be getting paid. You will just be working their businesses. You'll be learning about strongholds. You learn about strongholds. You learn about bondage. You learn about deliverance and stuff You learn about all these things that which are good, but it's also a lot of bad to it, you know. But I'm like, Lord, why you got me here? Why you got me here? The Lord kept telling me I needed to be there, and I did, y'all. It helped me, even though it was a horrible place. It helped me. It helped me, and it pushed me into purpose. I felt like I was in prison. I didn't have my phone. You couldn't have your phone for 6 months. Um, the whole 6 months is a 6 month program. You can't have your phone. You can't have your food stamps or your social security. If you get social security, you can't have that. They take all that stuff. Your medicine, you gotta ask to get meds. Like they had a whole system. It was a whole system. And then they would take our food stamps and use it on them. They wouldn't even use it on the house that all the ladies are in with the children. Let me tell you, like the the they would get food from donations. They would get donations, convention center food. All this food would be owed. Like they would get donations, but they wouldn't use the people food stamps for. They wouldn't give us the stuff from our food stamps. They would use the food stamps on them and their houses and stuff because they had houses. This ministry had like probably 30 houses, maybe more than that. And people get in these houses and stuff, and they be leaders over clients, and we were called clients. We were called clients, but they were called we were called clients, and they called leaders on staff. They got people on staff and stuff. And so when I first got in this ministry, I had to write 25 scriptures 5 times, basically about submitting to them. So basically saying if we don't listen to them, that God, they put God in it, like you don't listen to us, then God gonna get you type of stuff, like them scriptures. And then we had consequences. If we didn't do what they told us to do, they'll give us warnings. After the warnings, you'll get consequences where you have to write scriptures for what you do. So they was that type of ministry where they use Jesus. They use Jesus because they know you love the Lord. You're gonna do whatever the Lord say do. Authority. They wasn't using their authority right, and these people really was playing with the Lord. It was hard, y'all. It was. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It was hard. I cried for 2 months straight being in there. I was calling on Jesus every day because I wasn't understanding why the Lord had me there. I'm like, you took me from homelessness to come here. I was like, I'd rather have stayed homeless, y'all. That's how bad it was. But I knew God had me there for a reason, to help his people. It wasn't about me. It was about what I prayed for. I was like, Lord, help me so I can help your people. So I had to stay in that. And then to be around these people, they will belittle you and make you feel like you're nothing. They will make you feel like you need them, right? They like, if you don't follow the rules, you gotta leave. And knowing that people don't got nowhere to go. These people don't have no family. These people, they preying on these people like that. We didn't have nowhere to go. But see, I had somewhere to go, y'all. I could have went to go stay with my family. And let me tell y'all, through all of this, my family knew nothing. Why? Because my family would have stopped us from going to our purpose. They would have tried to take my child. My child was doing virtual school when we were homeless. Like the Lord had paved the way for her to be doing virtual I had got approved like the next day. I signed up for virtual for her, and she got right into virtual school before we left to go to Houston. But these people prey on people like that, and then they provoke them to try to put them out. That's not of God. But the Lord had to let me see evil. He had to let me see evil because I've never seen evil, right? My mama had me, she had us sheltered. I always felt like everybody was like me. I always felt like at this time I'm thinking everybody is nice still. I'm like, everybody's not like you, Maya. And so these people, I felt so much evil, even in the spirit. I was attacked so much in this place. I was so attacked. I couldn't sleep at night. I'm up with the Lord because they had us so busy like that to where I had to be with Jesus early in the morning. Sneeze on the truth. Bless me. But God never left me, y'all. I thought the Lord was punishing me. I come from a season where I was seeing the Lord like I never seen him before, right? Thinking I'm finna go straight to the promised land. But God was like, no, you still got more work to do. And this place really was work. It wasn't easy. But I made it through the grace of the Lord, with the grace of Jesus. I made it. I made it over. So when it was time for us to leave, we finally get a counselor for my daughter. I tell her counselor everything. My counselor, I didn't tell my counselor nothing because the Lord wanted me to stay quiet until it was time. Because by this time, I'm getting pictures and everything. Like, I'm sitting, and let me tell you, I also had got my phone back within 4 months of being in the program because I was doing good. I was doing everything they wanted me to do. So I got on. I got on staff. So this is where I'm seeing how they really are and what they doing. So I got in the house. They put me in the house. I had a client under me, and so I got to see what they do. I got to see them. I got to see how they run the business. I got to see the real. You know what I'm saying? Um, so they were, and me they gave me my food stamps and stuff. I was buying a lot of stuff and I was helping people. I was buying them stuff because they wasn't doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving to them because I'm like, I know how it is to be how y'all was, and just because I'm on staff don't mean I'm going to change. But I had to play that role to make it through, right? So, like, I finally had got my phone back, but I could not get on social media until I graduated the program. And so we also could only go to the store we could only go to the store once a week. We couldn't leave the premises. Gotta have supervision. We gotta have visitation from our family. We can only use the phones on the weekend to call people. They wasn't holding us hostage. We could leave if we wanted to leave. It was giving coke vibes, y'all. I'm gonna say that. Not saying that they are, but it was giving coke vibes, and I never knew nothing about coke. But when I got there, the Lord said coke, and I said, "Why you have me in the coke, Lord?" But it's not a coke because we were free to leave. You feel me? But I felt like people were coming up missing because I made connections with a lot of people in this program. And when they left and they didn't message me or call me, that had me thinking like, okay, what happened to them? You know, what really happened to them? Because I knew they would have messaged me and called me and let me know that they made it safely. So I will always question and say, maybe this, what happened? And then they have another retreat that's in Mississippi. When we went to Mississippi, I felt like that these people were sacrificing animals. They had a farm and all of this stuff. It was so evil. I couldn't sleep at this place, but we was going there for vacation. So it's like a retreat center, and it's where you can go and just, on when you get vacation time and all that. So we went there. We did activities. We had fun and stuff, but I was not able to sleep. I felt like they was doing stuff like in that on that land, the ancestors, whoever was on that land. I felt like they was dunking people in those rivers. It was a river. It felt so demonic, y'all. Let me tell you. That told me everything about this ministry, y'all. Maybe they is cults. I ain't gonna put that on them. But hear with your spiritual ears is what I'm saying. So, all right, so we go, I'm gonna go back. So I'm on staff, I'm driving, I'm getting to get out. I was with the daycare at first, so I was working at the daycare for them, and I was watching the children. And I was taking kids to school, taking people to their appointments and stuff like that. We're not getting paid. We're getting $25 love offerings every week, but we don't get paid. We just get love offerings, right? And we got to use that money, whatever they give us, to get food or get whatever we want on our store days. And so I'm watching the kids and stuff like that. I'm loving this. I'm getting comfortable there. I'm getting comfortable in this mess. I'm not gonna complain in this mess because I know the Lord not gonna leave me. I know the Lord gonna get us out of here. So I started to stop crying every day. I started to just accept it and try to understand what God was trying to teach me. So I started settling in the place and getting to see why the Lord had me here and start using the tools that they gave me to get set free. Um, so I started liking this place. You know, I'm like, okay, God, just help me endure. And the Lord helped me endure. But till it got to a point where it was time for me to go, y'all. Because I felt that they were gonna try to do something to me and my child. My daughter was working and her legs started messing up. She had to go to the hospital. They would not let me take my daughter to the hospital. They had me keep working for them instead of taking my daughter to the hospital. That did it for me that day. I'm like, Lord, you got to get us out of here. You got to get us out, Lord. Because no, my child, y'all got my baby sitting here in pain and y'all want me to keep working? So my daughter, I take her to the hospital once I got off work and, you know, all that. Find out she had the strep throat. It was a lot of stuff. A lot of kids were sick in this place because they don't take you to the doctor. And when kids hurt themselves, they just write statements down. They don't take them to the doctor. One kid was banging her head on the floor. Her mama was standing there watching her. And they didn't take this baby to the hospital. They put ice pack on her head. And I didn't have my phone at this time when this stuff was going on. So I couldn't even call nobody. I couldn't record. I couldn't tell nobody what's going on. By the time and then also it was a kid, an autistic kid. One of the ladies that was in there who had been a client, She strangled this. She hit this kid with her purse, the autistic kid with a purse, and she choked him. And they wasn't gonna let her go, y'all. They wasn't gonna let her go. She left on her own. I tell you everything you need to know about this place. And so I finally get a counselor. I'm talking to my counselor. I'm telling her everything that's going on, but I'm not really telling her everything, right? Because the Lord wants me to still stay quiet until it's time for us to leave, until it's time for me to speak. So I'm being silent and everything. I'm not talking. I'm just doing my part, doing what the Lord wants me to do, pouring into these people and keeping them afloat, keeping them going also, while the Lord helping me stay strong to keep going until it's time for me to speak. I'm taking everything they throw my way and I'm giving them love. I'm showing them that they're not gonna break me. They tried to break me, but the Lord kept me. They never harmed me and my daughter physically, but they did spiritually and mentally. Me, not my daughter, because they just had her working though. But after that, my daughter finally gets a counselor, a real counselor. At the seminary at the college. We were going to the seminary also. And so I tell her counselor everything, y'all. I told the counselor everything. It just slipped out. I'm like, oh, this is the Lord. He want me to speak. So it slipped out. I'm talking to the counselor, telling her everything. She like, all right, I'm gonna write this down. We're gonna reach out to you and we're gonna get y'all out of there safely. I'm like, okay. Nobody but God. It was time for us to go. So these people, the counselor called the CPS people. So they come to the ministry, y'all, and I'm undercover. I feel like I'm undercover, y'all, so they don't know what's going on. I'm taking pictures. I'm taking videos. I'm telling you, I'm doing all of this stuff so I can give it to them and when it's time for me to leave. They don't know I'm undercover. I'm smiling. I'm in their faces. I gotta play the part. I have to play the part so I can get these people set free and get me and my daughter set free out of this place. So you right, I'm a smile and talk, and I actually was love. I did love these people, but that's not love. That wasn't love for you to hurt somebody. But me being the person I am, I'ma always love you no matter what you do, cause that's just who God made me to be, right? But I'm playing that role of staying as a staff. But I'm not treating these people how y'all treating them. I'm gonna show them love. I'm gonna be different from y'all. And I didn't condone this stuff. I didn't like that stuff. I wouldn't say nothing. I wouldn't laugh when they yelling at somebody, downgrading them. That But it hurted to see that stuff happening. So it's like, Lord, help them, Jesus. And so after that, the CPS people come. They talking to them. And they like, what happened? Why they coming? Why they coming? And I'm like, cause I told her counselor I didn't like my daughter working, but I didn't know they was gonna call the people. They were like, how you didn't know that? How you didn't know that? Cause y'all, I did not know what was gonna happen. I'm just telling them this counselor everything, but God knew what was gonna happen, right? So yeah, and then I'm still playing undercover. I'm like I don't know what's going on. I'm like, cause God told me don't say nothing yet. I'm like I don't know what's going on, y'all. I'm playing it off. I know they know, spiritually. I know they know, but I'm gonna play the part. I'm going to stay quiet. I'm going to stay silent. Because we got to make it through this. We got to get out of here safe. I don't know what these people could do. Sleep with one eye open. But I know that God got us, right? All right, so it started getting a little better. Like, they start saying, okay, yeah, I see how. So they sit down with me and ask me, like, what's going on? And I tell them everything. I'm like, I don't like how y'all treating these kids. I don't like that. I don't like how y'all treat these children. And like, I can agree with you. We should handle this a different way with the children and stuff like that. And they all ganging up on me, y'all. But Jesus. So after that, everything all right. Then these CPS people come again. I'm like, okay, Lord. And I couldn't talk around nobody because you never know who was listening, right? Because this man, this pastor, he got so many businesses, he got so many houses, he got so many connections. You don't know who you talking to. But I had to use my discernment to make sure that it was gonna be the right person that I speak to so we can get out safely. And so I tell the CPS people, I'm gonna have to talk to y'all when I leave this place, when I walk back to the house. So when I walk back to the house, I'm speaking to them, telling them everything in that short amount of time. And so a lady reaches out to me when we go to my daughter's next counseling session, and she says, "Hey, we're gonna help y'all get out. Um, but what I need you to do is stay how you are. Don't, but I'm gonna get y'all out as soon as I can." And this lady, they had a program to where they will pay for everything. They'll find you a house wherever you want it. They'll pay it up for the 6 months. And all you gotta pay is utilities, right? I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that, but I know God got us, right? And I was skeptical. I was skeptical of going with them also, because I'm like, Lord, what if I'm walking into a trap? What if they are with them? But God was like, no, this is your way out. And this had to require my faith, y'all. This had to require my faith. So I trusted God. And I said, yes, Lord, I'll trust you. Then they finally give us a place and we leave. And the day that we leave was crazy because everybody ganged up on me again. And they was like, I don't know why you just didn't come up to us and tell us that you didn't want your daughter working. I don't know why you just didn't talk to us. And they started making me feel so bad, y'all. I cried with them, and I'm just like, I just hated that you guys say y'all love Jesus, but you treating people like the devil. You bringing all these people in here, and you're tormenting them on purpose. But you're supposed to try to set these people free. But you're tormenting them, and you're eating off their benefits. That's not of God. And these people be in bondage. You feel me? These people are addicts. They are recovering addicts. The clients that come in, or they used to be on drugs, or they got a mental problem, or they homeless, or domestic violence. They preying on these people because they can. Because they can take. They thought they had me, but they had the right one this time. Because you're not going to play with me. They didn't understand who they were messing with, really. Because I'm chosen. They didn't know that. They knew some. They probably did know. But they really, really didn't know. Because You guys, I was quiet a lot, but I prayed a lot. I worshiped the Lord. They seen Jesus. I needed to be there so they can see who Jesus really was, right? I came to give them hope again because they had been doing this for years. It was people that was in their ministry for 20 years, 30 years. I needed to be that light in that darkness. And I didn't understand it when I was going through it. But they needed this light and they tried to dim me. But God kept rising me up in front of them. God kept rising me up. Every time they talked on me, the Lord kept giving me favor. And they seen Jesus. They really seen Jesus. And I thank Jesus because I was kind of scared a lot. But the Lord kept telling me, I got you, Miya and Amaya. I got you and your daughter. I didn't bring y'all here to leave y'all. And the Lord always would show me that He didn't bring me there to leave me. So after that, we go to the new place. We don't have everything that we need at this new place. But God, y'all, they gave us beds. They gave us groceries when we first got in. They gave us dishes, whatever we needed when we first came. But that was it. They didn't give us nothing else. I had to pay the deposit for the light. I had to pay for, that stuff. But I didn't have no job. I was getting food stamps and I was getting fire tap. So that's the money that I was getting. So, it did what it did, but the Lord is none but the Lord. It's none but the Lord. The Lord has been providing. Now, I've been here for 4 months now. And y'all gonna know what's next when y'all gonna know what's next. But we are free. We got delivered. We had got baptized in that place. But God delivered. We got set free and we got delivered on after my birthday, November 8th. And yeah, now we here. We here and just waiting on the Lord. And y'all know what's gonna be next when y'all see it, because I can't speak on it. But just know that Jesus always keeps His promises. He's not a man that He will ever lie to you. What God promised, He's gonna do it. I'm living in the promise that I prayed for years ago, maybe a year ago, when we were homeless. I kept saying I want a home. A year now, we got a home. So don't tell me what God can't do. God is amazing. Allow Him to use you. You will go through the fire, but you will not get burned. It's to push you into purpose. Now, y'all, I know who I am now. I know my calling. I know the gifts I have now. I got set free. I learned about strongholds. I learned about so much stuff. Being in that place, I learned a lot of wisdom. Even through the homelessness, I seen God like I never seen Him before. Now I'm able to tell people and help others. But this is my story. This is me. This is my story. I am Miya. So I'm finally walking in it. I'm a prophet to many nations. I'm called to many nations. And God is amazing. Don't ever let nobody tell you who you are, because God says you are who He says you are. You don't need nobody but God. And that is the story, y'all. That's my testimony. Y'all will see what's next when y'all see what's next. Because if you think this was the end, oh baby, this is only the beginning of what the Lord is about to do. He's amazing. I love you guys. It's God moving. It's God catch this wave.